Hello and welcome to this course in Business Analytics using Excel. I'm your instructor Rajesh Durbala. I'm an assistant professor in Business Analytics and I've been teaching this course for past few years. So I have conducted various workshops in various institutions and I've been teaching this course in some of the universities. Approximately I can say I have got an experience of 3+ years in teaching business analytics. So moving ahead, let's see what's there in today's session. In today's session, we would be learning how to manipulate data in Excel, apply some arithmetic functions in Excel, learn the implications of dragging formulas in Excel vertically and horizontally, learn the difference between absolute and relative referencing, apply absolute and relative referencing in Excel to solve basic problems. Okay, I can say the last 2 points, that is learn the difference between absolute and relative referencing and learning the implications of absolute and relative referencing is the core impetus in this session. Okay, now let's see. This is a problem that we are going to solve. Okay, and we would like to apply absolute and relative referencing and solve this problem. Okay. A survey was conducted in the university campus with respect to the new dining facilities started in the campus in and around block 55. Okay, so a new dining facility was started in the university and we are conducting a survey to understand what the students feel about these new services. The survey was conducted across all the 4 years of BTech students, namely year 1, year 2, year 3 and year 4. The students responded and 200 students approved of the new facilities. So in the survey, almost 200 students said they liked these facilities. 300 students disapproved, that is to say they felt these facilities are useless or of no use, and 100 had no opinion. These were the silent majority, or these were, I can say, the people having no opinion at all. They preferred not to say anything. The total number of responses received year-wise are as follows. Okay, so year 1 120, year 2 180, year 3 126, year 4 174. Okay, so you can pause this video and you can take down the details if required. So the task that we have got, you are expected to calculate the following: number of year 1 students who approve, number of year 1 students who disapprove, number of year 1 students who have no opinion, and so forth. Okay, so these are the things that I have to calculate. Now how do I do it? Okay, I'll now take help of absolute and relative referencing in doing so. Okay, now let's see. I go back to my favorite Excel. Now I open my sheet. I have just created this layout for convenience and to save time. You can also create this layout in your own Excel sheet. Now you can see from the question there are 200 students who approve of this facility. There are 300 students who disapprove of this facility, and the number of students with no opinion is 100. Likewise, in the question I have also been given year 1 I have 120 students responding to the survey, from year 2 I have 180 students, from year 3 126, from year 4 it's 174. Okay, now how do I find out how many students from year 1 approve of this facility or disapprove or no opinion? Okay, now let's see. Now when I see in total the number of students who are approving of this facility is 200. So 200 is 1/3 of 600. I'm just trying to find the logic. Okay, so number of students who are approving of is 200 out of 600. That is to say 1/3 of the students approve. Okay, so the sum of these values in the year 1 in year 2 and year 3, year 4 would be 200 or one third of 600. Okay, now let's see. Then I can say, if this is the case, then what would be the one third of 120? Okay, that would be the value that would be coming over here, right? Makes sense. Now if I just put in a mathematical formula, okay, now let's see. If I say number of students from year 1 who approve, I'll just zoom in for your convenience. Okay, so let's see. This is, I put equals to, okay, then it has to be this cell multiplied by this cell divided by the total. Okay, now this gives me 40. Okay, now if I do the same thing, I'll be able to fill all the cells. Okay, I'm getting the percentage or fraction. The number of students who approve is one third of the total. Okay, that makes sense. Now number of year 1 students who approve would logically should be one third of 120. So one third of 120 is 40. Now I can do the same thing. I can punch in the same formula for all the cells, but I don't think that's a good way of solving it. That's not feasible, because if I have to punch in formulas into all the cells, if the problem had been a bigger problem, then it would be a tedious task of punching formulas into so many cells. Rather, I would have preferred solving it using a calculator, so there is no modeling involved. So let's try to create a model. Now let's see. In this cell, if I click this cell and if I study the formula, okay, I have G5, okay. Now this is this value. If I drag this formula across horizontally, this G5 is going to be constant. Okay, for whatever reason, if I keep on dragging, this value would be constant. But let us say if I come down to this, this should become H5, or sorry, not H5, it should become G6. So what I need to prefer, or what I need to do is, this G would be constant. If I come here, this becomes G6. Okay, in this it won't be G5, it becomes G6. In this cell, it's not G6, it becomes G7. So I have to see that G is constant, but 5, 6, 7, this can keep changing. So what I do is I will freeze only the column. Okay, how do I freeze that? Just by putting a dollar sign. Okay, now when I put a dollar G, that means G freezes, but this row part, that is 5, is still not frozen. If you drag it, it will keep changing. Okay, clear enough? Now let's study the C8. C8. So I'm taking this value from here. Now just imagine, in this cell it would still be C8, in this cell it will still be C8. What if I come to this, in this D? 8 would remain constant, but C would change to D. It becomes D8. Then here again D8. Here again D8. Okay. Now if I come here, it becomes E8. Here E8, E8. So in this case 8 is constant, but C changes to D or E or F. So the row part has to be frozen and the column part has to be left as it is. So how do I freeze? Again, I put a dollar. So now I'm freezing this. Now coming to this G8, where do I get this G8? G8 is this. This value has to be constant throughout. Even if I'm here, even if I'm here, even if I'm here, here or anywhere, this G8 remains constant. So I can do an absolute referencing by putting dollar throughout. I'm freezing the row, I'm freezing the column. Both are frozen. Okay. So when I hit, I get this value. Okay. So this remains the same. Now the value did not change, but if I drag it now, boom, I have magic. You can see all the values are coming automatically. Can you see that? Now, just out of curiosity, what will happen if I remove my referencing? Okay, let's try and see. If I remove this G, the dollar for G, let us say I'm removing this. Okay, just see, just by changing $1. Okay, what will happen if I drag? The values gone, vanished. Can you see that? Only I am able to get the values for this just because the G part, the G5, where is G5? This G5, okay, is constant for here, okay, G5. So I will undo what I have done. Okay, now can you understand this? So what we are trying to do is, if only the row or the column part is frozen, that's what is called relative referencing. And if both the row as well as the column is frozen, that is absolute referencing. Okay, so in this G6 and C8, we have opted for relative referencing, whereas for G8 we have gone for absolute referencing. Clear enough? So that was it for today's session. Now you can get in touch with me. You can follow me in LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter. You can write to me directly at rajeshdurbala@gmail.com. Thank you.